if you can get away from checking your phone when you're waking up in the
Mhm.
middle of the night, that is so much healthier for your mental state than being like, I woke up at 1 and 2 and 3:45 and 5 and like just like get yourself your little setup, get your little red light, take care of baby, and try to go back to sleep if you can.
Welcome back. I'm Aleea.
And I'm Hav.
Now, we've talked a bit about preparing for postpartum already, including the postpartum cart, the nursing cart, a little bit of mental stuff. However, we kind of want to dive a little deeper into some things just to make your life easier and can help you while you're trying to survive during those long nights and days of postpartum and newborn life. So we figured we'd just jump right in, and I kind of figured we'd kind of start with the mindset shift. Sometimes we're so focused on optimizing just our house, but it can be more than that. Like sometimes we need to shift our mindset because it can be easy to encapsulate everything and think you need to get it all done. But maybe you might just need some shifts to think about, like, where are the areas that you're going to be and focus on those. So maybe you'll be on the couch. Maybe you'll be in your bed a lot, or maybe there's just one or two rooms you plan on focusing on. Like maybe you're going to be in your room, in the nursery, that type of thing. So starting to set your house up in a way that you don't have to think, get up, or search, just because that can help make it complicated. And then also setting up, like, making your world a little smaller can also help with your mindset to kind of help make it not feel so big. Because I mean, right before we hopped on, we were talking about how it feels like there's so much and so to me it kind of plays into that. You're like, well, if I look at what I've already done, maybe you have accomplished a lot.
No, I mean, there's so much that can be done
Mhm.
to set up and prepare. And it looks different for every pregnancy. As I'm learning with Azzy, the house was clean. Everything would like there was, I mean, we talked about in our last episodes, like if you can do a house reset, like stuff like that. Amazing. That's not happening with this one. I keep trying. And every time I clean one room, it's like the other room. And Azzy is now very interested in baby brother stuff. So she's coming into my room and like, I'm just looking for something fun. And I'm like, I just need that to not move. But that being said, yes, literally right before this episode, I was like, and now I'm more stressed. But
Yeah.
also, the more that I'm like thinking about it, and like
Mhm.
we're already, I know we just started talking about it like for the episode, but it's also like, I don't really have to do much. I already know my options. For me, it's my bedroom,
Mm.
the couch, or the guest room. I already have the bedroom, his bassinet set up, onesies, and like diapers and
Mm.
wipes. I already know where I'm going to put the onesies, diapers, and wipes in the living
Nice.
room. And I honestly, like, now I'm like, I didn't think about it for the office, but I already have a place. So it's like, I just need to like literally put it out or tell Tony to put it out. I think that's where I am with this pregnancy is like with Azzy, I felt like I had way more energy. But I also didn't have a toddler running around and stuff. So but it is like, okay, instead of me being like, now I'm stressed, now I'm like, okay, I can do this. And if it's not done, that's okay. I think that's my biggest mindset shift for
Mhm.
this baby is like, ideally, what did I actually need for her?
Right.
I needed diapers,
Mhm.
sleep sack.
Okay.
Well, that's what we did. We did like swaddle
We did
sleep
a
sack.
sleep sack too. Yeah.
Yeah. And like a place to put him,
Mhm.
I think is the biggest one for like the bedroom. I think I was talking to you like a drop zone for baby. In the room, he has his bassinet. Here, I'll probably get down like the pack and play bassinet that we have just in case like I need to get up in the middle of the night if I'm in here, which granted, Tony's going to be the one in the office, not me. If anybody's moving, it's not going to be me. But that being said, like, and then with a toddler having a drop zone, so like getting that extra little rocker or bouncer for the kitchen. So if I need to put him down, as he needs something, I have somewhere safe
Mhm.
to put him. So that's kind of where I'm trying to focus my mindset shift is like the laundry room is a mess. There's stuff all over the table. His bottles are done. Everything he needs is like clean and sterilized and put away and
Yeah, it's funny because as you were saying that, I'm thinking back to being at the end of the pregnancy, and I think it's just part of that, like, nesting
yeah.
feeling. You just always feel like there's more to do, and to me, it's like anything, especially as becoming a parent, and I think I've mentioned this before, but becoming a parent has actually helped me just accept that things won't get done. I
Yeah.
have been able to let go of so much more, been able to just like, cause like there are like, especially in the newborn phase, you're gonna want to soak it up. And I don't know if we've mentioned, this could potentially be your last
Yeah.
hoorah of all of this. And so it's like, yeah, it's just I love that when you mentioned it's okay to just like let things, and I think because that for me, especially the next baby, as that's like my mindset shift because
Yeah.
I feel like it's so easy to just keep adding to your to-do list without being like, okay,
Never
like there's
ending.
always going to be more to do, always.
Well, and even if there's not like, say this is your first baby and you and your partner or whatever can actually like leave a room like
Right.
spick and span, right? Perfect world. You want to know how many times I've changed the outfits that I want in my go bag? Like literally, we just, the first night that we got like we got to get this bag packed, we literally just threw stuff in. I was like, whatever. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to put some more comfy stuff in. Now, Tony is actually literally out there looking for a specific set of pajama pants because it's been, so there's always something to do. And I will say, like, as we talk about setting up these zones and these drop zones and stuff, like, for the first week, at least for me, if I'm being honest, like, I'm going to hold him. I'm going to be in bed with him. I actually haven't unpacked his diapers because I don't know what size he's going to be.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So I have size ones, but I'm like, what if I actually end up needing newborn diapers? Like, I'm not going to go and unpack all these diapers and then have to repack them and do all this stuff. So I
Mhm.
think that's another like mind shift for me is like, as I learned with Azzy, things change quickly. As long as
Mhm.
you like open a box, throw it on the ground, it'll be okay. I want everything to be beautiful. I mean, we were just talking about social media and like the women who do their makeup and like have their hair done and stuff and all this, like just different stuff. So, like, a lot of this is like helpful thought process for you of like the different rooms and the places to like have things ready. But also, if you don't have them ready, like you can baby carry a week after baby comes and you can go and you can put out those diapers that you know the size and the onesies, you know the size, but like maybe mentally just thinking of like, okay, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
living room's not done, but when he gets here and I know what size he is, where am I putting him? So like, where am I parking his stuff so that I have easy access to it?
Right. Yeah. And I think that is an excellent point is sometimes being prepared is just having a mental note of like, hey, that is kind of taken care of, but it can't be fully taken care of until like they get here.
Which is so hard.
It is hard, but I think it is also important because I think you made an excellent point. Sometimes it's what we talk about. There are things that are unpredictable. So maybe you thought you were going to be set up somewhere. And then once you're 2 weeks in, you're like, actually, I hate it in here. I don't want to be in
Yep.
here anymore. Like you might have to change. So just take into account, like, it's also okay if like you've got things set up, but you also need to make some adjustments down the road. It's just honestly like taking these easy setups, it's really just about trying to set your future self up to be like not overwhelmed, So it's like Hob said, like at least she knows where the diapers are. She doesn't need to pre-open them, but like she can restock them once he gets here. It's fine. It's great. Like,
I think we could go into some things that we can have preset. Like,
yeah.
if you're not like me and you're like, I don't want to open something and then undo it. But yeah, no. So I think just like some things that we can do that are like kind of foolproof, right? Like these are things that you're gonna need for every baby, kind of in every place that you're gonna be if you can put something in. I am putting wipes out because that's not gonna change. So if you want to unpack diapers, like if you know your baby's gonna be small, open those newborn diapers. I think he's gonna be right on the brink. Anyways, wipes, especially if they're gonna be like in the room with you and you already don't have to move within arm's reach. I know I'm putting them like under his bassinet, or I even have like I have a nightstand. I have a little basket that I'm going to put a pack of wipes in. Extra clothes. There's going to be blowouts or spit up, or like there's, one or two extra sets of like a basic onesie or like a pajama set. Birth cloths. I think honestly, that's like my number one. I'm like, birth cloths. Yes, have them out. The spit up. If you spill on
I
yourself,
was just gonna say I like them for my nose.
literally, there's so many uses for them. I do really like the muslin ones. I think they soak up a lot and they're like
Mhm.
comfortable and soft if you don't have them already. I know one for me, and like this actually gets talked a lot about, but lighting, not having the overhead light as your main source of light. With Azzy, we changed her bedroom light to be like a color changing one. That was really great. And then I ended up getting her a nightlight. I am
Mhm.
gonna give in to TikTok and get the egg light. I think it
I
looks
have the
amazing.
egg light. I
Do
like
you
it.
like it?
I have the egg light. I was just gonna mention because before when you ended, I was gonna say we will link our burp cloth because Hav and I got the same burp cloths, and I'll also link both these lights. I have the egg light, and then I also have this one that when you flip it over, it turns on. You just go boop, and it's really nice because if you're tired, you just have to
Nobody wants to sit there and try to figure out Alexa and like I mean, granted, that's what I do with Azzy, but
right. So we'll link those. Sorry. I just yeah, because they are really helpful. The egg light for me, I found it was harder to keep like charged. Like I feel like my egg light's
Mhm.
always dead. But I really like that it's easy. You just touch it, boop, and it turns on. But I really like the little one just because it could like be in bed with me. And like when I was really tired, I would just like flip it over.
And does the one that you flip over, does it have different colors? Because I'm big on the red light. Okay.
I believe it does. I will double check though, because we still use it. So but we'll link all of those things just in case.
Beautiful. Because that was big for me is like not even for baby. Turning on a bright white light for myself in the middle of the night, I already have sleeping issues. It's already hard to get back to sleep. That's another mindset shifting that I will mention. If you can get away from checking your phone when you're waking up in the
Mm.
middle of the night, that is so much healthier for your mental state than being like, I woke up at 1 and 2 and 3:45 and 5 and like just like get yourself your little setup, get your little red light, take care of baby, and try to go back to sleep if you can.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up because I definitely was a doom scroller, and I feel like it hurt me because it was, like, right when I'd be going to sleep, he'd be waking up again.
Yep. It was so bad for me. Or like me being like, well, I literally was up for 1 to 1:45 and then 2:45 to 3:15 and then and then all day I'm just like, and I got no sleep versus like, do I feel rested or not? You know?
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of keep going. But I know I didn't do a snack and like hydration setup. I had like a water bottle, but I think snacks are going to be big for this one. I got a brewmate so that I can have a water bottle and like just keep it with me and not worry about spilling it. I got like the one that locks so that it won't spill. So like little things or like, one that closes. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. That was just what I want for me. But that would be really big because, like, also when you're getting up in the middle of the night with baby, if you're anything like me, like, I want diaper changes to be as, like, least disturbing for them and for me as possible. I don't want to have to get up and be like, okay, I need a drink and I need a snack. If it's just right there, I actually won't. Like, I'm the pregnant woman that'll wake up in the middle of the night hungry and be like, sucks to suck, go back to bed because if I get up, I'm staying up. So those are things that you can kind of like go get the granola bars or whatever little treats you want, the chocolate, a
Yeah.
little dopamine in the middle of the night when you're tired and baby's crying, like we talked about, or like we're going to talk about in episodes coming up, is like dopamine shifts are really good. So,
I definitely had snacks. I think I did trail mix and something else because I was also worried I would move it around and I didn't want, like, bugs. So I
yeah,
tried to keep things that were easy, like, either I'd eat it in one sitting or it wasn't, like, too messy. I know I tried to keep, like, granola bars and stuff, but sometimes, especially if you're in bed, they're so crumbly.
true.
So think about that too, like, I definitely think the snacks are important, especially like Hob said, middle of the night, I would wake up sometimes and just be like, "I'm hungry."
Yeah. I think I'm thinking about like chewy granola bars because we eat like Cliff bars.
And I think all of those, like I love because 'cause we've talked about it, the postpartum carts, the nursing carts, obviously, we just
Mhm.
talked about these carts. I mean, even if you don't want a snack and hydration cart, just to put those things in other areas. So,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm like, if you just, like, kinda sit and think about some of the things you might need, those are definitely things I keep on hand. Just because, like I said, you want it to be easy. You don't wanna have to be up in the middle of the night trying to restock your diapers in the dark. Like, you don't wanna be doing that type of stuff. What you're really trying to do is just simplifying as much as you can in the areas, that or where you spend your most time. So, like, I think even another area is, like, household tasks, like, trying to make those
Mhm.
easy or trying to make them easier to accomplish so that you don't get overwhelmed when you're in it. Like, I know you mentioned the drop zones for both kiddos. I love that idea. I think to kinda tag onto a drop zone is like a laundry drop zone. So, like,
Mhm.
instead of you being like, "Oh, I'm not staying on top of laundry," like, just make it easier to maybe maybe not fully fall behind, but at least have like some things flowing. So maybe you do one basket per main room. I started doing that because our laundry room's downstairs. And so I was always gathering clothes at the top of the stairs. So it's like instead of making it like just add a basket, solves the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't sort perfectly. Maybe you just like sometimes like I remember deep in early postpartum, I threw everything together. I usually sort colors, what, I was just like, it's getting done.
I've already started throwing everything together.
So anything like that, maybe you're doing repeat meals. I know we've mentioned the freezer meals, do that, but honestly, just trying to find ways to make it easier. And then, like we've talked about, lower your expectations. This is
Yeah.
just a season of life that you're in, and it's okay that it's a little hectic. Like that's
Yeah.
part of being a new parent or a parent of a new addition.
Literally. I'm just laughing to myself because I'm doing so bad at taking our own advice, like with the freezer meals and stuff. Like I don't have time.
Oh
Work
well,
is busy, I'm tired, all the things. So like I've started just like in my head thinking of like the meals that I can make or have Tony make or whatever that are just like tacos,
oh yeah.
chicken and rice. Some freezer meals and stuff like that we literally buy as freezer meals, like, not letting my
Like
little.
Stouffer's lasagna.
Yep. Did I want to make it myself?
Yes. What?
Yes. Am I going to? No. But yeah, I think the drop zones for laundry is honestly really good too because also babies create so much laundry. You can usually get their load of laundry done in like one load and then it'll be like weeks worth of stuff, but I definitely think that that's a big one, especially for like the burp cloths and all that stuff. If you are somebody who wants to change the laundry for baby, I suggest just changing it for the whole family because like Aleea said, like I just threw everything in, but I changed to all like an all clear type of laundry soap and I stopped using fabric softener. I'll do like the vinegar and stuff, but my babies have eczema, or at least Azzy did, and Tony actually does too. So I switched because I was like, I'm not gonna separate everything and do different loads. So that's something to consider if you're like, I'm gonna do baby stuff all separate, just yeah.
I also switched laundry detergent just because I was kind of being like that crazy person, like, oh, we'll do everything. I ended up like a year in, I ended up switching back just because like I couldn't find like smells that I enjoyed adding, like trying to find like essential oils. Maybe we'll go back, but I don't blame you. I get it. And that is something else to consider is like maybe you simplify your laundry. Maybe before you were doing a bunch of stuff and now you're just using the free and clear
I
laundry
don't
detergent.
do any smells. I started getting into like where I'm like, oh, I want my laundry to smell good again. And of course, now baby number two is coming, so I'm going back to it. But I haven't found anything that's like the essential oils is hard because I feel like sometimes it stains your clothes.
Well, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe I don't spray enough on my balls, my wool
Oh,
balls.
see, I haven't tried the wool balls. I did do like the laundry side tangent. I did do like the dryer sheets, but I
Mm,
ended up buying like Sam's Club brand and they don't do anything.
mm,
So we're gonna reassess. I use that one for getting the dog hair out of the dog
yeah,
stuff. If you throw your dog blankets in the dryer before you wash them with a whole bunch of fabric softeners, it's supposed to help detach all the fur so you don't ruin your wash and then you throw it in the wash
that
and
is
then back in.
really, I know that's not relevant, but that was relevant for me. So that is a great tip.
It'll be really relevant if you have hella dogs and you're doing baby laundry and dog laundry and not wanting to deal with getting dog hair all over your baby's clothes in the wash.
Or cat hair. Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, that was everything on my end. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention before we kind of wrap up?
Since I'm in it, you're gonna feel unprepared no matter what you do. You're gonna want to redo everything. I already want to change his clothes. Like, I don't, there's just so much that you're gonna want to get done. If you have a toddler, you're gonna feel like, I feel like I'm harping on Azzy so much and I'm trying to stop because, like, she's a toddler. Like, let her just play. So, mindset shift, breathe. Nothing's ever perfect. Do what you can, let go of the rest.
Yeah, I think it's so true. Like, you don't need to do more prep. It's just about kind of removing areas that are creating friction in your life, especially when you have other things happening, on top of it. It's like, oh, she has enough going on. It's like sometimes we just got to let some things go, like you said, or, we're rolling with the punches here. So, we really encourage you to pick maybe 2 or 3 systems or spaces and just kind of set them up before baby comes. The goal isn't to have it all together because we know that's just not going to happen. It's just this is a season of life where just trying to make it easier during those hard moments. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging with us. If this episode made you feel a little less alone, send it to a mom friend who might need to hear it. And if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a review. It helps more moms reach us and just find the show and let us know what you want more of. So until next week, we're actually going to be having a very special guest, Dr. Kim, come on and talk about parenting through play, even when you're exhausted and overwhelmed as a parent, because especially postpartum, we know how hard that can be. So with that said, remember to keep the kids alive and your coffee hot, or at least reheated once. Bye.
Bye.